Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Make It Monday. We are featuring Peach Pie, the new in color, because it is shades of summer and peach pie is a super cool color. It comes in so many different pieces, from our card kits to our shimmer paper to our cardstock and designer series paper. And then of course we have the color DSP. So many different shades. Hello Cheryl, welcome. Okay, so before we kind of get into some crafting, I have some ideas in mind for a tag and a card that I wanted to share, but I wanted to share with you yet another kit, a paper pumpkin kit that I've been playing with, and you've probably seen a lot done with it, and you may even own it yourself. So this was the June 2024 Life is Sweet kit. And I just thought, you know what? Each month I will focus a paper pumpkin because I never put them together normally. So this is like a fun way for me to kind of share it and maybe give an alternative if I can think of one. So for those of you who maybe got this Life is Sweet kit, you might see that I did do it just a little bit different than what the kit actually asks for. So now if you're a paper pumpkin subscriber, you can actually purchase this kit. It's still available for the refills, not the kit itself, but the refills. If you missed out on subscribing to the June Paper Pumpkin, sorry, you missed it. But I'm sure someone might be able to get you the refill kit. You just won't have the stamp set that goes with it. But the refill kit is really super awesome. It came with these like different color envelopes, not just peach. It came with some card bases. This looks like it's either Summer Splash. Yeah, that must be Summer Splash. As well as some pretty in pink. So it all featured the new in color. Hello, Marilee. Welcome. Hi, Sue. Thanks. I do love this card. And then it has the same kind of splatter. I say splatter, but it's like paints, splatches, you know, like when you mud a wall. That's what that reminds me of. You mudded and then you like colored it with Stampin' Up! Colors. So anyways, comes with peach, like the base for these cards, Summer Splash, and pretty in pink. So you can get the refills if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, but the best part is it's like a fruit set. I love summer fruit. I usually do not get rid of any summer stamp sets, but in prepping for tonight, well, I don't really prep, but I mean, in pulling some stuff out to use tonight, I discovered I never actually kept the peach stamp set. Like, do you guys remember a couple years ago, there was a beautiful designer series paper pack of peaches, and then coordinating stamp set. And I hoarded that paper forever, but I think I just gave it away at our last December bingo when I was cleaning out my craft room. So sadly, I did not keep that particular stamp set because I wanted to play with it. But what I did play with was this Life is Sweet. I was trying to pull out what the actual card is really supposed to look like because I did make one. But anyways, it's done with the Summer Splash. Yeah, apparently I hit it. I had it like yesterday. But anyways, or maybe, yeah, here, let's try this. This is what the instructions look like. So it wanted it on Summer Splash, and the back side of those leaves are actually green. So instead, I flipped it around. I used the peach pie and made still the same sweet card with the sweet embellishments, and had a lot of fun. So I thought before we start craft, I'd also share something else with you guys. We met with the craft room cleanup crew last week, or maybe it wasn't last week, it might have been the week before, where we were talking about past paper pumpkin kits and kind of what to do with everything. So I thought I'll give you a little sneak peek into what I'm doing for storing all my extra pieces. Now I forgot to grab one, so I'm walking over here to grab one. I found these little plastic sleeves. They've got like a little label that I can pull out and use, and I can actually write on it for what this particular paper pumpkin kit is, if I needed to, but I'm gonna pull that out for now. It has a little snap, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all these leftover pieces, the envelopes, the cards, and I'm actually removing them from the paper pumpkin box because that box is just taking way too much room in my craft room, and I'm just putting all the little pieces into one of these little envelopes. It saves me a whole lot of space, and then I can figure out what to do with all these little, you know how in our paper pumpkin kits you actually get all the adhesives that you need to put the cards together, which is fantastic. But I'm then taking this leftover paper pumpkin box, disassembling it, and just storing them, because we had a talk about these would be the perfect size for Thanksgiving or Christmas time when you want to do little packages for someone, maybe little care packages, whether that be some food or toiletries. It's like the perfect size. But anyways, that is actually all of my scraps, other than, okay, that's not true. I had the card bases that I showed you, then I moved over here. And then I have these little pieces because I started doing the card, but then I decided I wanted to do it in peach instead. So these are extra little pieces. I'm floating in here and I'm just clicking snap. And oops, here we go. Okay, and so we're gonna just snip it in or tuck it in. Except I must have sticky. Yeah, I got a little dimensional in the back. Whoopsies. Tuck it all in, go like this. But then I can at least see what the contents are. So it's just the little remnants that are left. That's it. So now I went from having to store, you know, something that's like 2.5 inches thick to like 1/4 inch thick. I'm pretty happy. So that's just a little tip for you. The other tip that I shared is with regards to the stamp sets. So all the stamp sets in the paper pumpkin now, they come like this. So back in the day, like if you were a paper pumpkin subscriber, you would, let me find one here. You would actually get a stamp set and it had all black writing on it. So you could completely see it. It's beautiful. You know exactly what it is. And then I just store mine in little plastic sleeves just for extra storage. And then I write on the back that this was a paper pumpkin. This was from Explore in Color in May 2023. So that if I want to look for that kit, I can, but chances are I want to use this for something else. So anyways, it was really easy to find. And then this is how I store all of them now that they're all kind of like cute so that I can use them. You guys are going to see me using those more now that I actually got them all organized. But now they don't have that black writing. Do you see the difference? But what they have done, so what Stampin' Up! Has done is inside the instructions when you get your paper pumpkin kit, it actually has the visual of what those are. Now also in the past, paper pumpkin had the little sleeve insert so that you could put it in a DVD case. I didn't end up putting these ones in a case because these were actually small that I could fit in that little container I just did. So I chose not to use these, but for like, sometimes they give you a bonus stamp set and it's a full size. I will print that sleeve and use it for that. But what I did is I trimmed this down. This comes in a square actually, so that it does fit in those containers or in those pieces or in a clear cello bag. So that's another way you could store your paper pumpkin stamps. But I chose just to trim this down and put it over top, hoping that I could actually see what those words are a little better, and then I use my sleeve. So that's just my little storage solution for my paper pumpkin, which I have to start putting together because I've been hoarding and not using. So thank goodness for Peach Pie being a Shades of Summer color for this week. That allowed me to make some fun peach cards. using that kit. But that's not all. We will do some more stamping using some of these pieces. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start with, let me get a piece of paper. I'm going to start with a piece of thick white cardstock. Thick white cardstock. And I'm going to trim this to 5.5 inches. Actually, yes, 5.5 inches, because I want to cut it directly in half. And then I'm going to twist it, and I would like to cut this to 3 inches. And 3 inches again. Like so. Okay. Now I'm going to do a fun little technique. I hope it kind of works out. Where I'm going to take my ink block. I'm going to take my Peach Pie ink pad. And I'm just going to squish it on the block. So this will work with any color depending on what your project is. You just might want to make sure you have a cloth nearby because this can get really, really messy. What I'm doing is I can take my aqua painter and just squish some water on there, but I find that doesn't give me the amount of water that I need right away. So I just have my water bottle and I'm going to spritz. And trying to do it from a higher distance, not too close, because you're going to get water everywhere. You might even want to use your paper pumpkin box as a spray box. I still need to make sure that my water painter is nice and moist, that it's wet. So we're getting that all ready. And I'm using the thick brush. And we are going to just tap that in some water. And I'm just going to do some stripes. I feel like it's summertime. And summertime is the time for stripes, right? Now I want to make a couple of these. So since we have it out and it's all wet, I do have one that's done and dry because you're going to want to just set that aside and let that dry for a little bit just because it does have ink everywhere. And let me just give this a quick wipe so we don't get the ink all over the back. But I just love doing the stripes. And in fact, I'm sad I missed it with the pool party, but you can be guaranteed I will do these stripes for all the other shades of summer colors that are coming. So what I'm doing here is giving this like a water wash stripes. I'm gonna put that aside to dry. Give my glass mat a little love. And don't forget, it is now available. You can actually order the glass mat and the accessories that come with it. It's all one package, so go and check that out on the website because it is super fun and nice to have just because it's a good surface for mixed media. You can clean it so easy. Now I probably should have had a dry cloth now that I'm like wiping it, but that's okay. I'd say I'd use my shirt, except I don't have a long sleeve shirt on to be able to use my arms. Okay, where's the one I got done? Here's one I have done already. Now it's interesting because the peach, so let's pull out the cardstock. This is what the cardstock looks like. This is what the stripes look like, but guess what? Because it's watered, we'd watered it down, it's not quite the same shade, and that's okay. If I wanted, now that this is dry, I could go over it again and it'll make it darker, but it's a shade of it. It's, I guess, a monochromatic color of peach pie. The only drawback is that the edges all kind of got wet at the back, but I don't care, it's art. So we're gonna leave it like that. Hello, Gloria, welcome, welcome. Hi, Cheryl. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut my tag corner. Some of you might have the old tag punch, or I think it was called the best ever punch. We also had a tag punch, but the tag punch only cuts 2 inches wide, and I wanted this to be a 3-inch tag. So all I'm doing is cutting the corner, flipping the corner, and going back in and snipping, and then this helps me ensure that I have the same kind of tag every time. Love, love it. Okay, now I get to choose some paper. I do want to put a little bit of pattern at the top, but see, now because that isn't quite all the same, it kind of looks funny. Okay, just one sec. I have to go get a cloth to dry this. It's driving me bananas. Okay, so what I wanted to try with that wash isn't going to work because it ended up being way too light. So we're going to try it on a different tag. I'll show you another technique. And we might use these extra peaches for my cards. That's why I left those embellishments and stuff out to use. But we have this awesome card that we have to do something with. Now, what I was thinking is like, okay, we have the light peach, but I wonder what it looks like with the dark peach added in. So I wanted to give this a try. So what I'm doing is I'm starting off my paper and ending off my paper. And I'm just doing a little slash just to kind of give it a little extra texture. It's almost like you're making your own designer series paper, right? With these little patterns. But then I want to come back in and I want to use my pebbled path. But apparently I have no idea what I did with my pebbled path. I think I was using it with my journaling. So it's nowhere around. Basic gray. I don't know, basic gray I think is just too, I think it's too dark. And of course my black's rolled on. How is that? It's because I want to show you something. That's why. Okay, I think I'm going to stick with crumb cake actually. It's a little more neutral. And again, I'm just adding some more texture. So what I'm going to do is above the line is I'm just going to do some faux stitching. I should have a ruler. If any of you are doing this, highly recommend a ruler. Here. My little middle one. Yeah, a ruler should really be easy and should be right in my workstation. Now the problem is workstation is not next week, the week after is where we cover it in our craft room cleanup. So give me a couple weeks and I will be well organized here at this workstation. But I'm excited to say that if you aren't part of the craft room cleanup, you will be able to join us come December for next year. It's lots and lots of fun, great ideas, and just chatting about how to clean our craft rooms the best and focus on different areas just to kind of keep us motivated. Okay, again, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just saying, you know what? This is going to be fun. This seems pretty cool. Let's grab a crocodile. We're going to get all the accessories. The stuff I know what I want to do, that's what we're getting ready first. I probably should take a pencil and put a little notch where I want the ribbon hole, but I'm just going to eye it because the ribbon I'm making is going to be messy. Whoops, whoops. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to pull, we have some peach ribbon, peach pie. Sadly, I don't have any peach pie to eat while I'm crafting. And I think this is going to be a sad summer for us because supposedly no stone fruit, although my friends seem to think that if they go to the Okanagan, aka Osoyoos and stuff, they may be able to find some. So we'll see. Unless any of you have been there, you can like correct me and tell me otherwise because they're not going for a couple of weeks. Okay, so I'm also using the silver and white mesh ribbon. Love that stuff. I love it because you can color it to whatever you need it to be. So because I have peach pie, and I've got peach pie here, I'm also going to use my peach pie Stampin' Blend. My alcohol marker, this will not work with your standard markers because they're water-based, which means, yes, you will color your ribbon, but it'll just wipe right off on your fingers. It will not absorb into the pores of the ribbon. You need the alcohol to help you do that. So I'm just going up and down the whole entire ribbon here. Oh, and I'm using a protective surface only because, again, alcohol ink does mark up any surfaces, even glass. However, it is easy to clean off glass if you have rubbing alcohol. It'll just clean it right up. However, I've had some glass pieces stain on me, so I just did not want to risk it for this particular project because this is like only the second time I've used my glass mat. I gotta keep it in the best shape possible. Okay, so although I had my selection of shades of summer that I'm focusing my crafting on for the month of July, I hope you guys have liked some of the posts I've done on Facebook and on Instagram so far. So we'll be doing that all month long. But I know my shades might not necessarily be all your shades of summer. So name one Stampin' Up! Color that screams to you as being a shade of summer that you love to craft with, or you're looking forward to crafting with, or you wish you could craft with. Yeah, let me know in the comments, because like I said, my shade of summer is maybe not the exact same as your shades of summer. Bonus points if you do have matching shades, aka sunglasses. Sadly, I don't have any peach sunglasses. Maybe I'll have to go look for some this week. Or at least go to the store and find some and try them on. I think that'd be cute. Okay, so now I'm making my ribbon. I don't know if you saw that. I cut these ribbons in half because that's going to allow me, one, to get like way more bows out of my ribbon. Plus, it just looks shabby. And I love the whole distressed shabby look. So I've got the peach pie ribbon. I have the mesh ribbon, but I want to also add in some crumb cake twine. So then it's all going to kind of piece together the way I want it. Okay, now that it's like that, I want to just make sure it's all, pardon me, lined up at one tail. Okay, and I'm going to try and straighten it a little bit. It's not going to get totally straight just because of the twine. It is going to be a real messy look. It's not going to be super, super clean. But I'm making a little loop. I'm making another little loop right to the center. Another loop. And then one last one so that it has 4 loops total. And then I'm just going to squish this together like so. And we are going to grab, if you have excess ribbon, you can use that to kind of tie it on, but we're not. We're actually going to use a piece of linen thread, which I probably should have prepped beforehand. So you guys are going to see me do this all with one hand. So there we go. I've got it in. I'm going to go ahead and drop this into the center. It's kind of like a lazy man's way of tying bow. It's my lazy way. We're just going to call it my lazy way. And give it a quick knot. Just to kind of get it all locked into place. Again, I'm doing this with one hand. I don't want to lose that other one. Boom, boom, boom. And it's done. Now, ideally, I'm going to tie a knot just so that it doesn't come loose on me at all. Or if the ribbon ends up coming undone, like my bow that I'm about to make, you know that this is secure and it won't unlock itself. Or, for instance, if my cat decides to come and chew on the threads, they'll still be in one piece and on my tag when I come down in the morning. She does that. She sneaks down here and climbs on my studio and she throws things on the floor. It's like she plays this little game of shuffleboard with herself. It drives me insane because it's always a surprise what I'm going to find in the morning. I have learned to really make sure that my glasses of water come back upstairs with me at the end of the night. Because yes, even glasses of water, she uses her little paws to throw off the island. Thank goodness I have nice thick glasses. They don't break, but it's the water all over the floor because I probably did not finish drinking it. Okay, so we have our cute little messy ribbon. I'm just going to trim some of that. So it looks super cute, except now we need something for in the middle, right? Okay, so this is where we're going to play. I have already cut and scored a little, uh-oh, what's this? Did something not get in here? Oh, I didn't tie something. That bow came undone. Okay, you know what? We're just going to pretend it's there. We're just going to trim that off. I already wrecked something. And look at it, it wasn't even the cat, it was me. Okay, so here is a card. but we want to add some more stuff. So what does that look like? See, this looks almost yellow to this peachy. So this DSP, no, it is not going to work for me. Okay, so let's test some other paper. Ooh, look at that fun pattern. Nope, too dark. Stripes, too much with all those other things, I think. Although the stripes actually aren't that bad. We're gonna put that over there. I'm not totally against that. Oh, but here's more white. But that pattern, no, I can't do that pattern. And dots and stripes, nope, not loving that either. Okay, that's okay, that's okay. We are gonna then use a piece of basic white cardstock. I just want some regular cardstock. Okay. Okay, just wait. That's thick cardstock. Bless you, Tom. Okay. So here we go. We've got some regular cardstock. I am trimming this down to 5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. So that's going to give me, and just see, I might even want to trim it even more than that. We'll test this out. That's going to give us a nice background, but we can still see some of that peach. And we have our tag here. So this might work, except I want to test this out, putting it through an embossing folder. This is the distressed tile. I would just put this in, close it, put the fold into the cut and emboss machine, crank it through, and then when it comes out, it's like magic. It looks like this. It's distressed. It's the look I want. Let's see how this looks distressed in behind here. Okay, that kind of works. Now it's not 100%. I'm not loving it 100%. But what I do know exists is those new pocket dies. So I wanted to play with them. Ooh, I should also say, I got my box, my Stampin' Up! Box today. So if you're waiting on something from me, it showed up today. So if you are in the city, or if I'm going to be out your way, just message me. I will bring it with me. Okay, I literally, while we were talking and working, moved the pocket dies. I physically held them, pushed them out of the way, and therefore they cannot be far, far away. Did I hide them under the paper pumpkin box? No. Why? Every single time. Okay, well, we might have to improvise then. We might have to use these dies instead. So, I may, who knows, you guys might see some other fun things made with all these other pieces that I've cut. So I guess instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off this piece to be 5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. Oh, that isn't going to work. Oh, shoot. Because this die is meant to be for 5.5 by 4 1/4. Okay, it's 4 1/4. Okay, so for this full piece, this big die, it actually cuts out, well, it doesn't cut out, it puts the imprint of those little pieces on there. So let me run that through the cut and emboss machine quickly. I'm not going to pull it up onto screen. I'm going to do it behind the scenes here, but I'll show you. Only because I got too much stuff everywhere. We've been prepping for Stamp Camp. I started with my craft room cleanup, but then I stopped waiting for those envelopes to come in, so I've got paper pumpkin boxes laying around. In fact, you'll see a post here coming up. Okay, for some reason, oh, I have the wrong layers and I'm messing this up. Okay, just a sec. machine is stuck. Okay, good thing I didn't do this on camera. Let me also say I'm weak. I have to get... Oh! I might need my husband to come finish this. Tom, if you're listening, can you please come finish cranking this? I think I jarred it somewhere. And I can't get it out, sadly. Now you guys are hearing me huff and puff. Okay, Tom, come fix that, please. Oh. Okay, yes, I'm a little exhausted. I'm a little white today. It's not a good day today, sadly. It should be, because it's so beautiful outside. Okay, and this other one, this is too small. So I definitely need this one. And sadly, my husband's not listening. Must be on the phone or something. Okay. I wish you guys could see me because this is really funny how I'm trying to hold it all down to get it through. Oh, but I got it. I got it. Okay. Whew. So, sorry, I gotta catch my breath. That was like way too much of a workout for me. That's super sad. So just so you know, if you have one of those cut and emboss machines or a Big Shot, it actually is strength training. So use it. Use it every single day. I cannot get over how much I'm huffing and puffing from trying to do that. That's insane. But it just goes to show you how weak I am. I still have a ways to go to kind of heal. Okay, so here is what it looks like. It cuts out this little frame. It's not the full size, so that it does leave a little mat around what it is you're working for. Now let's put this on. Oh my gosh, look how stinking cute that is. That works, but we need a little pocket. We need a pocket. So I need to find, here they are. Look at that, hiding underneath the glitter paper. Inside these dies, it comes with 3 little pockets. Are those not cute? Now, I don't know if this medium pocket, oh, it's too small for this. That's interesting. Now, I could trim off a little bit from each side and make it fit. Do we want to do that though? I have my ribbon on there already. But you know what? Why not? Let's grab our pencil. In fact, I'm going to turn it around and do it from this end. And I'm going to just mark it like this and like this. And then now I know where to cut. So I am going to use my trimmer. Now I'm going to want to just try and move those out of the way a little bit. I'm going to line it up. Probably can't see that, but I'm going to line it up to that pencil mark to the bottom. Move those out of the way and cut. Oh, and then look at it, gets rid of almost all of that water excess that's on the back of the tag. Okay, so I'm lining that up there, pushing that down, and so there we go. Now, I like the wider tag, it's nice, but you know what? Sadly, that's not gonna fit in here. But you know what? This one should. Yay. So this is just under 2.5, so probably 2 1/4 inches is what you're gonna wanna do. But for this one, I'm gonna do a white pocket. We'll see what that looks like on there. I think it might be my plates that are the problem, because I have a warped one. Aww. Can you hear all the boom crash bangs? Please tell me no. That'll make me feel better. I just ditched a whole die collection that was on a magnet sheet. And of course they all went everywhere. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is fold over. So this pocket, it all comes scored. So all you have to do is fold along the score lines. It's super cute. Just like this. And then you have a lovely little pocket to do something with. Now this is going to be way too long. I just want to test this first before I adhere it because I have a funny feeling I might have to. Yeah, I'll have to trim down just a little bit more and then trim some off the bottom. This might work. It might work. But what I want to do actually, I don't like how thick this is. So, or how thick, like how tall it is. I'm actually going to trim this down a little bit. I am going to trim off, you know, I'm going to trim off a whole inch. I'm going to trim off a whole inch. And do you see that little notch? That is actually really easy to get because you're just going to use a circle punch or a die, whichever it is that you have, to notch it out. And my circle punch is on the other side of the island. Because again, we're prepping. Lots of prepping for stamp camp. If you guys ever take one of Brenda's and my stamp camps, you guys get to make 6 projects. Plus, if you're a super stamper, meaning you registered within 24 hours of the last stamp camp, you get super stamper status, which usually comes with all kinds of other fun things. So we have been busy prepping, getting all ready for next weekend. Okay, there we go. I am going to use some tear and tape. I say that, but it's not actually going to happen because for whatever reason, my tear and tape is not right here. Ooh, except you know what? I did have some that we put back into this basket, right? Because some came with the kit. Thank goodness for paper pumpkin kits. They save the day. So actually, I am going to use some tear and tape. And I just want to put it down on each of the folds, like so. So again, we're building as we go. I have to like it. Otherwise, you know what? It just might be weird. Okay, now remember, I have to still trim down a little bit more off one side. And in fact, I'm just going to trim it off this side because this side actually looks a little bit lower. So we're going to be good there. And I'm going to do it from over here. You're not going to be able to really see me do this one, and that's okay. Just a sliver, doesn't have to be a lot. There we go. But then I have to figure out how much there. But then I got to figure out how much I want to trim down from here. So for sure 1, and I'm going to just take my big scissors and I'm going to cut across. I could use my paper trimmer, but you know what? Not. I'm just going to trim one of those. I'm not going to throw it away. I'll add that to another project. And you know what? We're going to mount these. Let's use some dimensionals because why not? We can. I'm going to put 1 in each corner. And then I'm going to put 2 in the center just because if we've got a pocket, people are going to be pulling on that. I'm going to just use my pokey tool to lift off those little covers. Someone was asking me the other day at bingo. They're like, what's a pokey tool? I've never seen that. Well, you just saw it in action. It's your little pokey tool. It pokes into things. So in this case, we poked it into our dimensionals to get the little paper backings off because these nails, they do not like that. And same thing, I'm going to use it to peel off the backing from here. Now, I'm sure you guys all have your own little ways of doing it. You found what works. Some of you find it easier just to use your fingernails. I used to be one of those back in the day, but not no more. I thoroughly enjoy this pick a tool. In fact, I just added another one to my cart. Okay, now I'm really sad actually because I just realized I did not actually stamp on this. I mounted it before I stamped on it. Oh well, I am just super excited that this is actually, okay, I got a little piece of adhesive sticking up, so I gotta tuck that under because we don't want this sticking to it. Now I just got to tuck that in. Oh, look it. It's like the perfect height. Now it depends, you know, if you're going to squish this in an envelope, you might want to even trim off just a little bit more, but I am like thoroughly happy with that being like this. Now it is curving, and it's curving because of the water, right, that I used on that particular piece. So you may even want to try and flatten your bookmark before you put it in there. Otherwise it's going to just curve over. But for the sake of our little video, we'll just put it in, and then you guys know why it's kind of sticking out. Okay, so we use pocket dies, we use those. So you know what? Let's use, there's this little round burst circle. Let's cut some peach pie. I'm going over the cut and emboss machine again. So just excuse me one moment. Okay. Here it is. Look it's another little burst. There's all this stitching. Everything is so darn cute. But now the question is, what stamp set do we want to use for this? Now I've pulled out Simply Sparkling only because look there's actually a peach in here. I love it, I love it, I love it. This is also a really cute stamp that we could use, best ever. But I also took out Friends for Life. We could put a nice high in the center, but I'm not sure I want to do that. Or just a sec, there's also a little brush stroke, but it's a little too small for what I want to do there. Okay, okay. We could add a peach and then some word over the peach, but I kind of don't want to do that. There has to be a stamp that's super cute. How about this one? I haven't used it yet. It's called Sending Love, but I think that's more postmark. I'm gonna have to do a different tag with this though. I really like that. So nope, that's not gonna work. Oh, How about we try something fun? How about we use the birthday cake from Attention Shoppers? You know what? Haven't used the birthday cake a whole lot. Only because it didn't go in the shopping cart. So let's do that. Now, I've also taken out Pebbled Path to use, but since we use the crumb cake marker, I'm actually going to use the crumb cake ink to stamp our cake. We're just going to get some white paper to stamp on. Here we go here. And I'm going to stamp a couple of them just because, you know what, I don't know what I want to do. So we stamped that in the neutral, which was crumb cake. I'm going to grab my blends and we are going to blend it. This is the light peach. I'm just going to blend it like so. But then I'm going to add a different color. So you see that cake icing? I think we can add in one more shade. We're not going to make this a monochromatic card, obviously. Any shout out? What other color should we add for the icing? Because I really think we should add in another color just to make it a little fun. Okay, so all I'm doing is using the tip end. Either tip would work for this. It's just I find that I can cover more of a surface with a flow with my brush end. That's the reason why that's what I'm using, just to cover the most space at once. When I go to apply a darker shade to do some blending, I will use the tip. But let's see, although I don't see any comments, so oh my goodness, I don't know what color you guys are suggesting. My comments kind of ended when Gloria said hello. Okay, so I am just adding a little bit of darkness. kind of across where all the waves are. I'm just kind of following that. And it's how I'm blending the light color. So I'm adding a little bit of dark, and it's all going to kind of bleed. Doesn't that look lovely? It just changes it a little bit just by adding another shade. You don't have to do a whole lot because of course it bleeds into each other and it bleeds into the paper. So you can actually just let it sit, see what it naturally does, and then go back in and add where you want. Plus, if you wanted, you could go in and with your blender pen, your blender pen, which is the white one. Unfortunately, I didn't pull mine out. But I'm just gonna blend it with that, and I'm gonna go back and blend it with my light. This one blended naturally and nice. This one didn't look like it was gonna do that, so I'm giving it a little bit of help. There we go. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I colored this one first, because sometimes timing is important. Okay. This really is sad though, because I cannot see what you guys are suggesting for a third color. I'm adding some yellow to the candles because flames are like yellow. Now, of course, there are dyes for this, but I am going to just use my paper snips. Assuming my paper snips are right here somewhere. Da, da, da. You guys like hearing me hum? I don't know why I do that. It's just natural. Okay, paper snips are not here. We're going to pull out the good old craft scissors because they're a little bit smaller than my big scissors. And oh, I still haven't colored that though. I'm sorry, you guys. I do not have my laptop nearby to go online to see what you said. So I apologize for not using a color that anyone's recommending. I am just going to turn around and grab something. I feel like it needs to be a pink. Pink of sorts. Because I really don't want to do yellow icing. I need some color. Now I know the dyes would have done a way better job, but hey, super cute, hey? I know I'm gonna put some dimensionals on there. 1, 2. I'm not gonna put a dimensional on this, only because I put dimensionals on the cake. Look how cute that is. That does look cute, but what color? What about sea foam? Dark sea foam. Let's try this. It's not pink. It's a neutral. Not everyone loves pink. I know a lot of you do. Oh, look at it. I made a mess using that. But that's okay. It's cute. It's cute. It's cute. It's cute. So we've got a lovely cake, but that means that we can put a nice big happy birthday right there. But, like, what big happy birthdays do we have? Oh, here we go. I have not used this one much. This will work. Happiest of birthdays. Now, the thing is, it's not a photo polymer. It is your cling stamp. I love it. It's cute. Let's see what we bring with it. Now, it doesn't look like I washed it after the last time I used it. No siree. So always double check because that had red on it. That would have been yucky. Okay, I am going to stamp this in crumb cake on my scrap paper again. Let's try this and see what happens. Yay, that looks cute. But now the question is there a die or a punch? Like there must be something cute. So I'm just gonna cut that out. Leave that there. My dies that fell on the floor, they might work. Look, happiest of birthdays. That does work. Although it only works on one side, not both sides. That could pose a little problem. Okay. Here it is here, but I trimmed it. So because it was really, really big and it didn't fit on my paper, it could just sit like this. You could glue it. Now I'm going to mount it right in the middle, so don't put adhesive across the whole thing. I'm going to line it up so that it lines up with the tag and it lines up with the top like so. And then look at that. It's like happiest of birthdays. Then, since we've now made this a birthday card, we are definitely going to have to put some balloons. Balloons. Some beautiful balloons. So I've got a few sizes here. I don't know if you can see this. I've got two sizes that I'm going to use. Sorry for reaching in the camera. My little blocks are over there. And in fact, I'm not going to use the big one. I'm just going to use the little one. Peach, 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 peach. And this is what I'm going to use. Now, I probably should have stamped this before I mounted that, but that's okay. Can easily come off. Look at that. It can easily come off. But I actually, oh shoot. I'm making a mess with those bows. I really should have done the bow at the end. As you can see, I'm pulling them out. Okay. Because I need to know where it was for stamping purposes. Because I want to put one stamp. I'm going to stamp another. And I'm going to stamp a third impression. Okay. You can barely see that third impression at all. I also have this little tiny, what do I want to call it? String, balloon string. And in fact, I've got the crumb cake out. We're going to use the crumb cake as well. I'm just going to ink up actually just the top of the string. I'm not going to ink the whole thing because I know I don't need it all. So I'm just going to stamp once, stamp twice, and then just guess where that third one is. Stamp 3 times. Cute, huh? So then at least you've got some little balloons, but then also as part of this, you have some little confetti. You've got like little birthday confetti with streamers, or you just have some little confetti with stars. That's what I'm going to use, is the little confetti with stars. And I'm just going to tap, tap, tap. Now I'm not going to press hard. I'm just going to lightly press in some areas all around that, just to kind of give it some bling. So you can see it, but you can't really see it. Does that make sense? It's all in your pressure on how hard you press. And then there, you don't see the balloons. But when you go to open this up, oh my gosh, you see balloons. Happiest of birthdays. So that means, of course, we're going to have to stamp some balloons on the inside. And I guess this is where I can use the bigger balloon. I wasn't going to use the big balloon, but you know what? Why not? Stamp, stamp, stamp. Again, I'm going to do the 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then again, my little balloon string. We're just going to use the same one, except this time I'm going to use peach as well because I'm on the peach cardstock. I don't really want it to be the dark one. So 1, 2, and 3. We're just going to use the same sparkles, the same confetti. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just randomly doing it. And so on the front, it says happiest of birthdays. And you can also incorporate another stamp set. So we've brought in the beautiful balloons, but let's add in one of these signs too. Happiest of birthdays. And you know what? I think we're gonna put, let's get our celebration on, because it's kind of rounded, which means it's gonna go over those balloons a little bit more, and I can stretch it out a little bit. So let's see what that looks like. So here's my block. I'm gonna, it naturally curves to like a circle, but I'm gonna naturally move it out a little bit. And we are going to tap, tap, tap. Look at that. I was going to do two separate projects, tag and card, but instead, no ma'am, or no siree. We are just going to do it all as one. Okay, so there is the card. Super cute, hey? Oh, Sue says she loves the shabby bows. I know, I love the shabby bows too. Anyways, I'm impressed with the peach. I'm still gonna play. You guys will probably see some other posts here in the Heart Stampers group as I sort out some more peach stuff, because I didn't use any designer series paper, right? We made our own cute little tag using the watercoloring. But there's this, and I stamped this cake, which I'm gonna have to do again, but I started, I'll show you what I started doing. And it just did not turn out, so I have to turn it into something else. Okay. We embossed some of that peach designer series paper with that distress look. That's really cool, but check this out, the other side. If you're a fan of the Posy, so I might save this for the Posy Shade of Summer. I can't think of the name of that right now. But then I started doing another tag, but it totally was a fail. But again, even though I say it's a fail, there's a way to fix everything, right? We all know that. So I have to just find a way to fix it once I actually find it, because apparently I put it in such a good spot. Like everything else, I can't show you. So I'll have to fix it and post it in the group. But I hope you liked the peach pie, ink, paper, blends. I hope you thought that this was a fun way to use. I hadn't actually played with these dies a whole lot, just a couple of the shapes I've played with. So I'm really happy with how the little pocket works. And now you know how to make a pocket to shrink it down if it's too big, right? You just cut it and then use your hole punch to give it a fun little shape. And don't have to use your dies the way they're intended. You can cut half of it off and do that. So anyways, I hope you like this birthday card. Thank you, everybody. And we will catch you again next week. Have a great week. Bye for now.